Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for episode 2 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Last episode, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Her and Bruce's banter was just endearing. They really, truly felt like a family, and I loved the tutelage that was being passed upon, and as well as the acknowledgement that their situations are different at this point. And though a lot of people took some of those scenes the complete wrong way, like there are some takes regarding one scene in particular that are just not even accurate to what the scene is about, let alone the situation, let alone any of the stuff that the show is talking about, like the freakouts that I've seen about a woman expressing her feelings, and that, you know, women do feel this constant fear in the world, especially if you're like a professional woman out in the world, especially in like a big city. It's scary. It can be. And like that's kind of just your normal everyday existence. One thing that people forget is Bruce, like many of us guys, was kind of taught to bottle up all that stress, all that, those emotions, all those problems, all that anger, to bottle it up, not process it. And that's what happened. He didn't have anybody to help him. He didn't have anything. He didn't have this process until he became the Hulk much later in his life. And he had this trauma. He has these things in his background that he just was never able to deal with, which resulted in his DID, which resulted in that alternate personality being the one that really takes charge when the gamma radiation kicks in and he lets that take over. That's why he's got an alter ego to wrestle with and Jen doesn't. She doesn't have that built-in trauma from not processing her anger, because she spent her entire life living with these emotions and processing them, because as a woman, she's also encouraged to do so where we are not. That's the difference in these characters. They were written to be representations of the two different ways that we're raised as kids, as young adults, at processing our emotions. And like myself, I can relate to this as well. Like Banner, I was always raised to just swallow it, not deal with things. And that's not healthy. And that's what happens. It's a cautionary tale with Bruce. Whereas Jen goes it through her life just kind of living in a constant state of that, processing it, talking to her friends, reaching out, and processing these emotions and learning to control them. That's been her life. And she's doesn't have all that built-in trauma that comes with that because she's just always been dealing with it. A lot of people took that as like, she's like saying she's got it much harder than Bruce. That's not at all what she's saying. She's just talking about the conditions that led up to that moment. That whole argument, you know, it's like, well, Bruce has spent like the last 10 years or whatever being chased and hunted by the military. I guess she's got it harder than that. That's not what this conversation's even about. It's about the tools that they had to equip them for handling this affliction. They had very different upbringings that prepared them in very different ways for this. Bruce was not. He was forced at post-Hulk to confront his pain, to confront his trauma, to confront his anger. He never dealt with it prior to becoming the Hulk, because he never really had to. Once he got out into the world, you know, unlike Jen, who is always constantly, one, encouraged by society to even talk about her feelings, but in a professional sense, that also being a hindrance where she's got to keep those things in check. She's got to be the perfect specimen when it comes to being on good behavior and just to get respect in her field. You know, Bruce would have never had to have dealt with that in the ways that Jen would. Like, people pretend that there is not this sexism that exists in the workplace, and there wholeheartly is. And like, I see it every day. Man, it's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, she's always trying to prove herself. She's always trying to, one, keep herself safe. She's always an object of desire. It's just the male, I hate using these terms, but the male gaze, man, it is. Like, that is their first thought. You know, they're out there at ladies' night, not to support women, but to prowl. That's just the nature of the beast, you know? That's unfortunately, sorry guys, shocker to break the veil of your reality, the state of what it is like to live as a woman in this country. There's a reason why when you go to a university orientation where they advise all the women that are now signing up and enrolling and attending the college or the university to have a whistle on them at all times and memorize the locations of all the emergency phones on campus. Well, there's a fear, is this drink going to have something in it? You know, there's this constant fear of being preyed upon or just not being seen as good enough because of that perceived objectivity, that perceived inferiority that is still kind of ingrained in our society, even in a systemic or subconscious way, maybe subtly or maybe not so much subtly, depending on what part of the country you're in. Like, just pretending that doesn't exist is just ignorant. It's so wild to me that people are so fragile. And it's always the same people about this whole situation. Like, if you're so, I'm sorry to go on a little bit mini tangent here. If you're so like upset about a woman speaking her feelings, you need to re-examine your life. And I feel so sorry for any of the women in your life. Like, I have so many friends that have posited the exact same things that Jen vocalized in this. And is it a little preachy? Maybe. Does it go a little one line, maybe too far? Maybe. I don't think so, but I've heard that similar complaint from people I do respect. I just think that it's important, regardless, for a property like Marvel that has this attention to shine a light on that stuff and to encourage not just the female audience to finally hear their own voice and concerns out in the public, but also for young men to also hear that for the first time, more than likely, from a property they've been watching. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. And I worked at a nightclub for like 10 years, and I've seen this type of behavior. I've worked in a professional environment because I work in IT, and so many of my female colleagues has dealt with the same shit she's talking about. And it's not like this subsurface thing that happens behind the scenes or anything like that. It's so blatant. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, this stuff is constant and it exists, and this is a lot of people's entire existence is being constantly at battle with the world around them. And I love that that's getting a light shined on it. And also, she's better at this than being Banner. Is she? Or is he just trying to teach her and not beat the shit out of his cousin? Because he clearly made a power display that he could rocket a rock into orbit without breaking a sweat. Like, she might be more limber, more in control, more, flexible, more, athletic from the get-go, because he was just a nerdy-ass scientist his entire life. He had to learn all this stuff at the end of the day. I'm sure she's jogged, done yoga previously already before going into this. So, like, it's just like the ridiculous excuses to just hate on anything female-led anymore is just getting cartoonish. Also, this is Smart Hulk. This isn't Hulk Hulk. I don't think that she could best Hulk in a fight. One, because Hulk has no regulation of what is good, what is bad most of the time. So, I don't know. Clearly, I just think Banner's been nerfed here as well. And even if it wasn't, it's not a big deal. And at the end of the day, Bruce was mostly right at the end. Like, she was going to have to be a Hulk. Things were going to happen. Things are going to be drawn to her. She'll be called to act. And of course, there's her initial transformation where she is raging out on these dudes. As she says in the first scene after she comes out of the little training chamber with the buzzsaws, it was the first transformation was like there was a fog, and that fog is now lifted from her mind. That was her first transformation, her first exposure to it. It's going to be a little bit different. And then I've also seen that the show's anti-men or some shit, and it's not. I mean, Bruce is in there. He's a dude. And they're friends. They are going through this. They're working through this together. I know they're family, but still, it's anti-asshole. So if you're offended by that, you might be an asshole. Now, for me, I would like to apologize for being the one to get a little preachy with you guys, but my lord, the shit I've seen over the last week has literally pushed me to a little bit of a boiling point. And this is the last time I'm going to address this. So if you're in the comments spouting, "Is woke trash," I'm not even going to give you the time of day. For real. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to watch my superhero lawyer show. I'm here to dive right in. With that all said, guys, if you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, you can check that out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, it gets you access as well. You get the same thing for all the other shows we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and then vote on what movies we react to as well. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, try to make it worth your while since you are going out of your way to support the channel. But of course, another way to do that, and a simple way you can help us out, is just by liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing these videos, because it really does go a long way with helping the channel here grow on the YouTubes. But that all said, gang, let's go ahead and hop into She-Hulk Episode 2, Superhuman Law. Here we go.
Sketches show a stunning scene from the Metropolitan Courthouse today, where superpowered influencer Tatiana caused panic.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
A new superhero appears responsible for stopping the rampage, and she's been identified as Deputy District Attorney Jennifer Walters.
Can you tell us about what you saw today?
Yeah. So this chick, pretty decent, turned into a Hulk, like a chick Hulk.
A She-Hulk?
Exactly.
That's for you. Can't possibly be what they're calling me.
Lady Hulk, Girl Hulk, She-Hulk. Come on, just give them what they want.
Keep on. That name better not stick. It's so dumb. I can't even exist without being a derivative of the Hulk.
That's a pretty dumb name, too.
Yeah.
Trick you pulled there, Walters. But don't you think it's a little unsportsmanlike to suddenly debut superpowers just to drum up publicity for yourself?
Only you
Eat
would think
shit.
Seriously, how did you get these powers?
that. I really don't feel like talking about it.
Nepotism. You knew it.
Well, not quite.
I did not go to law school to become a vigilante. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
But you could be an Avenger.
Do the Avengers offer health care?
I don't.
Maternity leave, a pension?
I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of implied that's a big old no-peroonie.
What is it?
Could you go back to Jen? Jen, this is a serious conversation.
Oh, because she's drunk now.
We didn't win the case.
Oh, yeah, we did.
GOKNH had declared a mistrial.
What was I supposed to do? Like, let them get hit in the face with a desk, and then they have blunt force trauma, and they're all bleeding out all over the courtroom floor?
No, you did the right thing, but it unraveled our case. I'm sorry, I have to let you go.
What?
This makes you a liability for the DA's office.
Wait, you're firing me?
That's some bullshit. Attorney for hire.
No.
What? Fired again?
No.
Sorry.
Family dinner right after I get fired. Please come with me.
Can't I have a date?
Jen, you don't have to worry about getting fired. I already told everyone, so it won't be awkward. No one's going to bring it up.
You're fired.
Chad!
Chad!
Jen, that Hawkeye guy, what happens to those arrows of his? I mean, does he go around and collect them?
I'm just gonna put this out there. Melanie is a stylist.
Let's get this hair more like She-Hulk's.
So back to Hawkeye. It's pretty hazardous to leave those things lying around. Could use your help with before you go?
What do you need me to do, Dad?
Can you move this table?
Just an excuse to check in with you. How you doing, kiddo?
No.
I'm okay.
Really?
No, I'm not okay, but I'm okay with not being okay. I hate that it got revealed in this way. Like, I wasn't gonna just let those people get hurt.
No.
And now I feel like I'm being punished for doing the right thing. Like, I get fired for saving people.
Well,
Maybe I should have just let those people get smushed by that desk.
sweetheart. This isn't even the first time we've had to deal with a Hulk in the family. And you didn't destroy a city.
Accurate.
The thing that you were dreading happened, but look, you're still standing. And now you get to keep moving on.
Miss Walters, it's nice to see you again.
Mr. Holloway?
May I buy you a drink?
Can I help you?
I'd like to offer you a job.
Is this a joke?
I'll never joke.
You got me fired, now you want to hire me.
To be head of a new division, yes. Take some time.
I accept. But I will only do it if I can hire my own paralegal. Non-negotiable.
I truly do not care who your paralegal.
Pedro, Jen Walters is back, baby.
Hell yeah.
Welcome, Miss Walters. We are thrilled to have you join the team.
I'm so happy to be here.
We just started a Superhuman law division, and I want you, well, the She-Hulk, to be the face of it. I'll expect you to be at work and in court as the She-Hulk, not as a normal person.
Right now.
This way, please. We are the first top-tier law firm to launch an entire division dedicated to superhuman law.
God, is this why they hired me? Totally qualified, but now everyone around here is always going to think this is the only reason I got the job. It's so unfair.
What do you think about it?
I'm agnostic.
Oh.
I'll spend the rest of the year worrying about what I just said.
Your office.
I love it. So, like, not everybody can hear her little, like, fourth wall breaks, but Bruce could. Is it a Hulk thing and Bruce has just never done it?
It's because they wanted a Hulk lawyer in the Superhuman Law Division.
Yes, but look at everything it's getting us. Are you kidding? Big ass windows.
I'm gonna have to buy an entirely new wardrobe just to come to work.
Yeah, and you're making enough money where you can do that now.
Nah. Hi there, I'm Pug. I'm also.
Yo!
I'm Jennifer Walters.
I made you guys a welcome basket.
Adrian Chase.
Supplies to get you started, snacks, and a map to the best bathroom for pooping.
Thank you.
Let Carrington go, and then tell Bob Thompson that he's going to Minneapolis because he hates the cold. I mean, just tell him that.
What the fuck? Oh.
On whatever case you want to assign to me.
Your first case is the parole of Emil Blonsky. Also known as Abomination, Mr. Blonsky has been serving his sentence in an ultra-high security prison.
Right out of the gate.
I'm sorry, but I can't represent him, sir. I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
I have to say I'm not comfortable taking this case.
If you don't take the case, then you don't have a job here. At the very least, you should meet with the client before you decide.
Yo!
No superpowers inside.
Ooh.
Walter.
I'm sorry. That would fucking freak me out.
Step past the yellow line. Do not touch the glass separating you and the prisoner Abomination. Although we have taken every
Looks like they got a little more security than when the clandestine were here.
So you're gonna serve me up with some fava beans and a nice piano?
Ma'am, this is a prison.
Of course.
I appreciate the reference, Jen. It's okay.
Jennifer Waters. First off, namaste.
Mr. Blonsky, I was expecting...
Abomination, right? You won't be seeing much of him about. Honestly, I've completely transformed myself.
Does that mean that you can't turn into the Abomination anymore, or you won't?
No, it means that I choose not to. I'm simply Emil now, with 7 soul mates that I met through the prison pen pound program that I want to start a new life with.
Wow.
So,
interesting.
The elephant in the room, shall we? Your cousin, the Hulk.
My cousin Bruce.
Semantics, he was the Hulk. I tried to kill him. So let's get that out of the way. It wasn't personal or anything. I was under direct orders from your government.
But then you went on a destructive rampage in Harlem, that wasn't sanctioned by the government.
Yeah, because they pumped me full of that super soldier serum.
The serum the government gave you caused your subsequent actions?
I was a highly decorated soldier. You know, sent on a mission to take out a threat, and I thought I was the good guy. I thought I was going to be, you know, Captain Bloody America, something. Now that very threat, your cousin is held up as some kind of hero, and I'm locked up in here. Where's the justice in that, Jen?
I understand your point.
Didn't he forcibly eject himself later on? I don't remember. I haven't seen The Incredible Hulk in a long time.
I have here various haikus that I've written.
Oh boy.
To each of my victims, expressing the sorrow. Here.
If I were your attorney, I would advise you to speak truthfully from the heart instead of trying to gauge what you think they might want to hear.
It's all from the heart. I just want to move on with my life. Live in peace on a large piece of property purchased for me by my 7 soulmates.
Right.
Think you can help?
Yeah, I'll think about it.
I wonder if this is pre or post, like, him getting those, like, special sessions with, Wong. I believe it. Aw.
Listen, I got a new job.
Hey, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Part of the deal is I have to take on Emil Blonsky as a client, and I couldn't do that without talking to you first. And I'm not falling for an act here, but Blonsky did seem to have really good arguments, you know, that he's reformed.
Well, sure,
you know, isn't rehabilitation something that we should strive for as a society?
That's what you'd
But
hope
none
for.
of that matters.
I think you're calling me to tell me you're taking the job.
I'm calling you to tell you I'm taking the job, yes.
That's great, Jen. You should. Actually, Blonsky wrote me a really nice letter. So we put everything behind us. That fight was so many years ago. I'm a completely different person now. Literally.
Oh, wait, I just got that. Not because, I was like, not just Smart Hulk. He literally is a new actor.
What'd they end up naming you anyway?
She-Hulk? Don't even.
No, I love that. That's got a nice ring to it. It all worked out. You got this. Just be careful.
Oh.
Be careful. You coming to LA anytime soon?
Probably not for a minute. I got some things I gotta take care of.
Oh!
Okay.
How does he have cell reception?
There you are.
Dude.
I'd like to accept your offer. All personal complications have been resolved, and I guarantee you are getting my best work, and it is 100% in the bag.
You might want to take a look at the news right now.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So far, there have been no statements made by Emil Blonsky's attorney after shocking footage leaked showing the abomination.
Oh, no!
Appears to be an underground fight club after having somehow.
Well, that answers my question.
That sucks.
Oh, fuck. So that got out. Oh, I mean, the social media stuff about Busboy or whatever the fuck it was that Shang-Chi had when he had the bus fight breakout. Damn. That's wild.
I don't know what 4K is. This thing, nobody does. But you still need it. Turn it right. Look.
Counterclockwise.
It just turns the wheel, dude. I don't know what doing.
Good. Drop it down.
Okay,
Drop it down.
okay.
Good. Come on. There you go.
I'm glad you're staying hydrated, Dad, but this seems a little excessive.
Oh, here. I got that. Do that.
Oh, that was cute. I like that a lot. Aw. This is a good episode, man. I really like that. Like, I get it. I guess I kind of get it why she got fired. But at the same time, the publicity behind it for JLHK to come in and offer her this job for the superhero division. But I feel like there's probably another layer to that. Or maybe there's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just as simple as that. But I like that whole like introduction that they got out of the way, and her touring the building, and you know, obviously as a professional, you would want to be recognized for your skill, not so much a gimmick or a PR move. But hell, man, I will fuck it. Give me the money, give me the desk, I'll take it. And I'm curious though to see how that whole thing is going to pan out. And I like that we acknowledge, because there's still a lot of people that still think that the Incredible Hulk film isn't an MCU movie because of the Mark Ruffalo change. Like, maybe similar stuff happened in the same timeline, but it was always Mark Ruffalo or whatever. I felt like What If kind of cemented that, but this even more so cemented that. I mean, it's the same events. Emil mentions the Harlem thing, what exactly happened in the movie, and then there's just the straight, I was a different person then, and that look that Jen gave the camera was like, no kidding, really? Tell me about that. You were quite literally a different person. You were Edward Norton. That made my day. I liked that. That was some good use of that fourth wall breaking right there. But it did establish, at least in this, because Bruce acknowledged, like, when she said that, I was like, what was that? He's like, he doesn't mean that. And then he turned to look at her. So he heard her there, but like nobody heard her when she was giving her a little spiel to the camera and when she was walking right behind Holloway. So that's interesting, because there has been theories that it's her Hulkness that allows her to talk to the audience. I don't know if there's actually an in-universe canon reason. I don't know that there's ever been one, but I think that at least I think that at least Bruce being able to hear her while others not so far, it leads me to bark up that tree a little bit. Maybe that's one of the reasons behind that. And then Adrian Chase. I always forget his name from Arrow. What's his actor? Josh Segarra. Yeah, man. That was a nice little surprise. Don't poop here, poop there. Interesting. I love her friend, man. Her paralegal. And that she managed to, obviously, because the guy, like he said, he wouldn't care. Because all he cares about hiring the She-Hulk, who her paralegal is. But I'm glad that she's the type of person to bring people along with her. I'm glad they got to go on that little journey together. And then I like that Bruce made yet another appearance in here. Again, being supportive, being there, just showing the relationship. Of course, she's just showing that closeness between these two characters, man. I really like that. And the Sicarian ship came back into the play, so he figured that whole thing out. He's settling it, and he's, I guess, heading back to Sakaar. Rumors have been once the Universal rights for Hulk lapse next year, that we might actually get that World War Hulk movie, or maybe even a Planet Hulk movie, which would fall in line with him needing to go back to Sakaar, and maybe something happens there. That'd be wild. We might actually be getting a Hulk solo film for the first time in years once those rights lapse. So we could kind of cross our fingers now and see if that plays out. But I like what they did with Emil, man. Like, he's got a point. Like, he was just trying to stop a threat. The Hulk at the time was not controllable. Not nearly to the extent he is now. Let alone not even to the extent he was in, like, the Avengers. But still, I get it. But after a little while, I think there was a little bit of fudging history there a little bit. A lot of that was pride, I think. I think after a point, Emil, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that he was trying to push himself further. Like, he forced that doctor at the end, who was trying to resynthesize the process that created Hulk to cure him, to juice up Emil, which caused him to turn into Abomination. It wasn't the super soldier serum that was doing it initially. It was that. So there is some fudging of history, unless I'm just remembering it wrong. So who knows? And now, PR-wise, it got out footage from the underground fights in Shang-Chi where he was fighting against Wong, where we thought maybe there was like a parole program where Wong was maybe training him or something like that to help him get under control. That could still be the case, but it could be like even more classified than they are allowed to know. So now that that's out in the public eye, this could be a move from Valentina. Or, because otherwise I don't know how or why Emil and Wong would have an existing connection. I hope we get answers onto that eventually. We know Wong is showing up in the show, so maybe we can get some answers out of him about what happened there. They're going to have to address this now, especially with Wong now being on camera fighting the Abomination in an underground tournament. It's definitely going to raise some questions that the now Sorcerer Supreme is breaking people out of prison for cage matches. Interesting stuff, man. I love Jen, man. Tatiana Maslany, she's killing it in this role. She's just so endearing, and she's just charming and so relatable, man. For real. I don't know, man. No, I think this is another kick-ass episode. I can't wait to see where things go once the ball gets a little more rolling. And I love seeing these people pop up. I love the kind of the jabs it's taken at the cinematic universe itself. It's just fun, and we're having a good time, and that's all I ask for. But guys, what did you think of this episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Feel free to join us in our Discord. We can talk about it there as well. Links to that in all my social description box below. Follow me in each and every one of those. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gets you access also. And before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan, Karen, Jason Coleman, Philly Vane, Yori Korsgaard, Margaret Grace, Mary Bradley, Melita, Robert Anguiano, and Raven McCann. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Well, that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all next week for episode 3 of She-Hulk. Take care, everybody.